Hello and welcome back. Today I'll be making a lemon cheesecake, but before we get into that, I want to say that Black Lives Matter and I do not tolerate racism or other exclusionary beliefs. Here's our recipe. We'll be starting with the crust. So I'm going to grab my food processor and add 2/3 cup flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, approximately 2 tablespoons of butter. I think I had a little bit more, but it was easier just to use the whole thing. And then 1 tablespoon of ice water. We'll mix that up together until it looks like it's been appropriately incorporated. Those are 2 band-aids on my arms. I had a couple moles removed, so you can consider this your reminder to check yourself for any moles that look not good. Then we'll grab a 9-inch springform pan and dump the crust mixture into the pan. And I had a bit of butter that was still a little bit clumpy, so I tried to break it apart as much as I could. And then you spread it out into a fine, thin layer at the bottom of the pan. I kind of squish it around to make sure that it's evenly coating the bottom. We'll stick that in the oven for about 10 minutes at 400 degrees, and then we're going to let it cool after we take it out. So next we'll get started on the filling. I've got my cream cheese, and I'm going to zest this lemon. I hope you're appreciating the massive size of this lemon. My lemon tree has just a few lemons left on it, and they're all huge like this right now. The other ingredients that we'll need are sugar, salt, flour, and vanilla. So we're going to add all of our cream cheese into my mixing bowl. I ended up using 24 ounces of full-fat cream cheese on accident because we bought the wrong kind, and then 16 ounces of 1/3 less fat. The recipe calls for 24 ounces of fat-free, which just makes it lower calories per serving. My mixing bowl did struggle with this quantity of cream cheese, but it did work as long as I was paying attention and managing it. Now that the cream cheese is mixed pretty well, I'm adding 1 3/4 cup sugar, 3 tablespoons flour, 2.5 teaspoons of that grated lemon rind, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons, but as I've said previously, my vanilla is really potent, so I usually use about half of whatever the recipe calls for. And then we're just going to mix it up as evenly as we can, struggling with the amount of material in the mixer, but it does end up getting incorporated nicely. Grabbed 5 eggs, and I'm going to add them into the mixer one at a time, making sure to incorporate well after adding each egg. Alright, there we go. It's been mixed nicely. Now we can pour it into our crust, which is cooled down. Now I'm adding spoonfuls of lemon curd to the top of the cheesecake. I made this lemon curd a couple weeks ago because I planned on making this cheesecake before the COVID crisis, actually. So it's actually a bit old, but it is pretty easy to make. I didn't film myself doing it though. I decided to add my full recipe of lemon curd onto the top of the cheesecake because I really like the tart flavor with the cheesecake. It's just so good. So now I'm going to swirl it around with a knife, which if you use less lemon curd on top makes a really nice pattern, but it is kind of fun to watch the knife go round and round. You can do however you want, it doesn't really matter, I've found. Now it's time to stick that beauty into the oven at 325 for an hour and 15 minutes. Very long time. Now that it's done, I very carefully extract it from the oven. And there it is. We're going to let it cool, then I'll cover and put it in the fridge and take it out of the spring form pan later when I'm ready to eat. Thanks for watching. I hope you're staying safe and enjoying the little things in life.